We're spinning the wheel on another mock draft. What pick will it be? You probably know because you've seen the thumbnail. Michael Bolton.
Thanks, Josh. It's Michael Bolton here, and it's time for another episode of the Locked On Fantasy Basketball Podcast. Let's get to it.
Let's get to it, indeed.
You are Locked On Fantasy, your daily NBA fantasy podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Hello and welcome to the Locked On Fantasy Basketball Podcast, brought to you by Basketball Monster. My name is Bobson Dugnut. We're here to do a mock draft. Thank you for making Locked On Fantasy Basketball your first listen every day. We are free. We are available on all platforms. A Category League Snake mock draft. There is an auction mock draft coming later today as well, I think. So be ready for that. A lot of people ask me, hey, can you do a pick from pick 3? Yeah, I can. I don't know when I will do it. As you've probably seen on these mock draft shows, I spin a wheel and we see what order it comes up in, just to mix it up a little bit. But yes, I will do a mock draft from every pick. You're just going to have to see. Maybe today is the day that we delve into pick 3. We will see in a second. You know that I like to do these mock drafts based on what the current Yahoo ADP is for that particular draft type, because I think it just gives a little bit more of a bit of structure to doing these shows. And we'll go through that, and we'll do that. There was some injury news today. Keegan Murray with a thumb injury, out 4 to 6 weeks. They have no power forwards on this team. Their next power forward is Doug McDermott. And then it's Isaac Jones. Maybe they go with Maxime Reynaud. Maybe they move Dario Saric back to power forward. Maybe Nick Clifford plays up. Maybe DeMar DeRozan plays at power forward, and that means that Keon Ellis starts, or Malik Monk. But I think it's going to be Monk, Ellis, Reynaud, Clifford, just a bunch of guys getting small amounts of minutes. And when you're replacing a 14 usage player like Keegan Murray, well, there's not that many shots to go around. And if it's Malik Monk that moves into the starting lineup, well, it doesn't give Monk a boost in that sense. It moves his value down, because then his usage needs to be more equivalent to Keegan's, not that low, but everyone sort of takes that weird hit. So it's never as simple as, Monk would join the starting lineup because Keegan's out, so all of Keegan's shots just become Monk shots. Doesn't work that way. Because if they did, that would mean that all of Monk's shots from before would disappear, and he would just be Keegan's 14 usage player. So it just affects a lot of stuff differently. Anyway, I don't know that there's a clear must-grab player there. If we do hear that a Reynaud or someone or Clifford is starting, then yeah, I would do that. Alice probably is worth having a look at, but we just don't know. I think it's going to be a lot of spread-out stuff there. We'll come back for this draft in a sec. Today's episode, though, is brought to you by Peloton. Peloton is shaping the future of fitness with a brand new Peloton Cross-Training Tread Plus powered by Peloton IQ. It is their most advanced equipment yet, designed to give you real-time guidance and endless ways to move while you're running, lifting, or cross-training with your favorite instructors. This is training reimagined. Peloton is built for breakthroughs with tools that help you plan, stay motivated, and reach peak performance. The Peloton IQ system offers real-time strength coaching, tracking your reps, offering you the right weights, correcting your form, and making each rep safer and smarter. And the swivel screen is a game changer. It can put you from the tread to the floor so easily, so you've always got that instructor in your ear watching and telling you what to do. So let yourself run, lift, flex, and push forward. Explore the new Peloton Cross-Training Tread Plus today at onepeloton.com. All right, let's go into the wheel spinning room and take a look at what pick we're going to do in this draft. Will it even be a 12-teamer, or do we go into a 14-team league? Let's click the wheel and spin it and see where we end up. With these picks, it's looking like it's going to be an early one. Oh, you're joking, yeah? Well, there you go. Without meaning to, I did say that maybe we're going to do pick 3 in this show, and we are going to be drafting at pick number 3 in this show. So, there you go. For those of you who are asking if I could do a draft from pick number 3, or maybe it was pick number 2, and then that's bad luck for you. But we're doing pick number 3. Now, pick number 3 in the Yahoo ADPs at the moment is Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. If you're using my recommended draft schedule, I would be leaning towards Luka. If you're using a Yahoo default, then I think Shai is the perfect pick in this spot for category leagues. It doesn't really matter. If you're agonizing over what to do at pick 3, don't. You're wasting your time. You're wasting your energy. You do not need to agonize over what to do at pick 3. It is easy. Just take whoever. Take Shai, take Luka, don't worry about it. Simple stuff, I think. We're going to get into this mock draft in a sec. Though I've got to tell you that all of the people that allow me to do all these mock drafts, one of them is FanDuel. Today's episode is brought to you by FanDuel Sportsbook, and the NFL season is here. And FanDuel has an offer that you don't want to miss. Right now, new customers can bet just $5. And if that first $5 bet wins, you'll get $300 in bonus bets. You pick what bet you're going to do, you put down your $5. And if it hits, you'll get those $300 in bonus bets to use across the app. You can use it for same-game parlays. You can use it on player props. You can use it on just straight-up spreads or straight-up wins, on futures, whatever it is. Once you get those bonus bets into your account, they're yours to use on the app as you choose. So what are you waiting for? Go to FanDuel.com to download the FanDuel app today and to get started. And don't forget to gamble responsibly. Today's episode is also brought to you by Monarch Money. Most people can't name all their financial accounts or even what they're worth. There might be 401ks or properties or investments, and when you don't have the full picture, you can end up leaving money on the table. That's why there is Monarch Money, the all-in-one personal finance tool that brings your entire financial life together in one clean, easy-to-use interface on your laptop or on your phone. Monarch is built for people with busy lives. If you put off organizing your finances, Monarch is for you. It does all the heavy lifting for you, showing all of your spending and tracking your budgets. Show easy-to-use graphs. You don't even have to worry about punching it into a spreadsheet. It does it all for you. Don't let financial opportunities slip through the cracks. Use the code LOCKEDONNBA at monarchmoney.com in your browser for half off your first year. That's 50% off your first year at monarchmoney.com with the code LOCKEDONNBA. Now, let's start mocking. Yeah, let's get into the mock draft. All right, let's get into the draft room. I'm picking at number 3 here, taking Shai Gilgeous-Alexander at the start here, and then we'll see how this plays out. Should be good, I hope. I hope this guy, hopeful Cubs fan, is here because A, he shouldn't be hopeful anymore. Maybe he's crying after losing yesterday. But also I'm going to be annoyed if you're just not there. So we will see. Bro, better be here. All right. So pick number 3. That means I've done 1 and 3 and 7 and 8 and 10 and 11. Good selections of picks, I think, so far. The wheel has done well. All right, we are off and ready to go. Let's see what the big fella does. Wemby at 1. We haven't seen that in many of these mocks. Again, if that's what you want to do, do it. Not a problem if that's what you want to do, especially if you're playing with a Yahoo default playoff schedule. Then Jokic's 2-game week does make it difficult, and he is going to play fewer minutes than last season. It's basically guaranteed. Doncic goes at 4. So Giannis will surely go at 5, I'm guessing. I don't know what else we'll be doing there. I can see some drafts coming up where Cade will end up at 5. I won't get behind that. I definitely won't get behind Anthony Davis at 5. Cade Cunningham goes to 6. By the way, Davis, as you'll note in preseason, Dallas fans are hating him at the moment. It's pretty funny to watch. He also just doesn't look right, and he's playing power forward, which will lead to worse fantasy stats. We have gone over this and over this and over this. This is why I do not want you to take Anthony Davis in round 1. Also, throw in the injury risk in that as well. It's just not for me. Irrespective, we just went with the usual top 7. Giannis 5, Cade 6, Ant 7, and then the other Ant, Davis, went at 8. I don't like it. I wouldn't do it. But you can do it. It's okay. I did that yesterday in that pick 8 mock draft. I picked Anthony Davis there. I thought I had an unbelievably good team, to be honest. I know most of you will be like, yeah, Josh can never mock draft. His mocks are terrible. He would lose in every league that he would be in. But I think my team worked out okay. Let's see what happens at 9 here. Right? This is usually a Trae Young pick. To me, it would be a Devin Booker pick, honestly. Or Harden. Oh, it is Devin Booker. That is interesting. Actually, I've moved Harden down a little bit in some of the rankings, but he goes at 10. This is an interesting draft. We haven't seen Trae go, and he normally goes in the top 10, and I'm not really behind that in that way either. Now, this dickhead, hopeful Cubs fan, are you here? Because if you're not, we're about to pause this, and you're about to get absolutely booted. What a legend this guy is. Join a draft, don't turn up, don't quit it. Just one of the best moves of all time from one of the worst blokes of all time. Well done, mate. Thank you. Really appreciate you doing that. That's unbelievably sick, and we'll be pausing that to get your lame ass out of here. All right, old mate has been replaced. We are ready to go. Let's resume the draft at this pick. Hopeful Cubs fan who just booted out and was so useful for me. All right, let's see what he's doing at pick number 11. I hope he makes the pick. He is in the room. Let's pick. I'll give him a bit of grace for just jumping in. Ugh. God, come on. I can see that you're in the room. This is going to be... what happens with this? I don't really get it. My actual guy. What are you doing? Guess I'm going to have to come back and fix it again. All right, after some breaks in play, we are ready to go. We've got the new guy here at number 11. Draft is resumed. Let's get it on. And he picks Trae Young anyway, so who cares? No, but it does matter because A, I wanted them to make the pick, but also so that on the picks that follow, it's someone active in that spot. Steph goes at 12, Durant goes at 13, which honestly, I know they're a million years old. It is a combo that I do like on the turn there. I think it's a pretty strong grouping. I like being able to do that if that's the spot that I am put in. And I think more people should be looking at that as a viable option. Now, this guy that picked Trae Young, is he going to time out the second pick, bro? No. Karl Towns. All right. Towns at 14 is absolutely within the realms of what is good, what is fair, what is useful, whatever I'm saying. Amen Thompson, that is, I don't know, man. Like, I love Amen Thompson. I do fear we're at a little bit of a men creep. Although, in saying that, like, maybe it's just Maxey that I would have ahead of him there. It's not many people. Mobley goes next at 16. It is hard. There are a number of guys here. Jalen Johnson looked awesome yesterday. You can look at Donovan Mitchell, Tyrese Maxey, Joshie Giddey. I know that you hear me talk about this in nearly every show that we've done. I am getting more and more in on Porzingis. I know there is injury risk and, whatever the hell happened last season, but he looks good. He's going to start. And if you're getting Porzingis outside the top 50, which when I'm looking at his ADP numbers, they're like 55, it's hard for me to get... Well, LaMelo goes early there at 19. I haven't seen LaMelo go that high in many drafts. As much as I think that per game, like he can easily do that, there's obvious risks with it. Sabonis to the Giannis team. You don't normally see Sabonis go down that far. I think it's reasonable to have him down that far. It just doesn't normally happen. I will be looking at Don Mitchell if I can snag him with my pick. Or I would have looked at Jalen Johnson, and Johnson just went. Or do I take Mitchell, or do I take Şengün? I'm actually not sure. I think I'm going to take Don Mitchell there. Yeah, right. That was close as to what I was going to do. I will just, if I can get Şengün back on the other side, I will. I don't think that's going to be possible, but there he is. Of course, Emma takes him at pick number 2. Pick number 2. Pick number 23 overall. I know that one of the ones that we see Chet Holmgren goes at the end of round 2. Well, I forgot it's third round reversal. I wouldn't have got Şengün anyway. One of the things that I see people criticizing in my mock drafts is when I say, Jesus, that is early on Austin Reeves. I like Austin Reeves in round 3, and he's been going in round 4 in most of my mocks. That's early, 25 though. One of the things that people seem to be critical of is, how have you not got Jalen Brunson in the top 20? Well, because I just don't think he's a top 20 player. It's like as simple as that. I think he's going to do less this season and minutes will be down. He's got some deficiencies in his overall game. I just don't think that he's a second round player. Very simple. I don't know what the evidence would be to suggest that he's a top 20 player. It doesn't seem to exist to me, so I don't really get why there is consternation about that. But anyway, Brunson goes now at 26, which is, again, possibly too early. It's possibly too early. Scotty Barnes has had a very weird preseason, a bit of a knee problem, some low usage. I am getting a little bit more concerned that the Brandon Ingram, RJ Barrett combination might sort of, not necessarily freeze him out, but leave the usage at a spot that you don't love. I'm also pretty concerned of Jalen Williams and his availability. That wrist surgery, I do think the Thunder are being a little cloudy, a little sneaky in terms of what they're saying about it. Williams just goes at 28. I don't think he'll be there opening night, honestly. And I think that the Bronco might miss a little bit more time than maybe we expect. Bam goes 29. Jamal Murray goes 30. Very reasonable picks. I will be taking Porzingis, by the way, in round 4, if that's what it gets to. My team at the moment it does need rebounds. It does need a big man. So Jaren Jackson will be... Yeah, I don't like LeBron there, by the way. Oh, I don't like this Tony Wroten team. That's good, though, because I don't like Tony Wroten. So he took LaMelo Ball in round 2 and LeBron James in round 3. I am not interested in that at all, in that, especially that combination. So it goes LeBron 31, Siakam 32, who would have been a target for me. How big is my Johnson? Can I get Cooper Flag in this spot? Oh, it's a tough one. Or, no, you know what I'm going to do? You know what? Let's take Cooper Flag. I'm going to get Porzingis on the way back around. I was debating Paolo Banchero there as well and Derek White. I think that if you can get Cooper in round 4, it's pretty good. I'm not going to take Cooper Flag in round 3 in every draft at all. There goes Banchero next. And there goes Derek White, the other two that I was mentioning. And there goes Dyson Daniels, who I think is maybe marginally early there. I will be taking Porzingis with my next pick, by the way. I just sort of wanted to... That's probably the highest that I would do Flag, to be honest. I don't think I would go any higher than that. But I can understand why you would. Brandon Miller goes. I would have debated him at this spot. I'm going to take Porzingis. I think Porzingis is probably a top 25 per game guy. And there are concerns, obviously. But, yeah, someone said, I didn't expect Josh to take Flag in the third. Yeah, you shouldn't have, because I don't normally do that. But I am just mixing it up a little bit. Flag's all-around category ability does suit Shai's all-around category ability. I think that Flag, as much as I've been a big supporter of him and saying he's a top 5 dynasty guy and the very clear number 1 guy in this draft and all that sort of stuff, and he's going to be an above-average fantasy contributor in every category, probably as early as next season, I haven't been a third-round guy on him. But honestly, looking at the preseason, he is more advanced than I thought. He is 18 years old. All right, he is a step ahead of even where I thought he would be. And that gives him a little bit of a bump for me. Porzingis was my pick then. It was Jaylen Brown, De'Aaron Fox, Demetrius Morant, and Jaren Jackson. I think that is a steal for Jaren, and it is a pretty good value there on Denny Avdia as well at 44. The other one that you'll be watching around this area that should start to go soon is old mate, who I just forgot, Miles Turner, who I think is going to be solid value around this area. I expect that Franz Wagner will start to go off boards here, and he should. And then we get into that weird area where, I like Pritchard, I like Pirtle, I like Assar, but it's way higher than what most people would be considering those players. Well, it does go Franz Wagner at 45. People often then jump onto a Des Bane in this area. I wouldn't, but Miles Turner is the next pick. Trey Murphy's also one of the ones who needs to be going here. And honestly, we're getting into Brandon Ingram territory, sort of. Not quite. But he is a name to start thinking about. And it is also... Zubats is falling a little bit here. From consensus, I think it's fine that he hasn't gone yet. After Miles goes Kawhi at 47, which is a very reasonable pick. And Jim Butler. Well, good. That team, man. Steph, Durant, and Jim Butler. It's old. That's all right. Trey Murphy goes at 49 to begin round 5, and that does make a lot of sense for me. And now we get into, this is the weird range. This is the, hey, how much do I believe Darius Garland's coming back? What about Jordan Poole? Do I reach up for Julius Randle? Do I take Mark Williams? Do I look at Ingram? Do I look at Bridges? Do I take a flyer on Assar? That is all about what's happening here in this round, I think. I like the Kobe White pick. I would have snuck him maybe into the earlier round, if possible. But it's all okay. The injury for him, we just don't have that full clarity on it yet. Desi Bane in the 50s at 51. Better than taking him in the 30s or 40s, where originally he was going. His ADP is at 43. His original rank, I think, on ESPN might be even in the 30s, which is a silly spot to be looking at Desmond Bane. Our auction today, assuming nothing goes awry with it, it's Kingy's hosting it. Adam King is hosting it, so there's a bunch of fantasy analysts in there as well. We'll see how it goes. I will be using my... Oh, that is way too early on Jarrett Allen. Holy crap. Absolutely no... What? No way. All right, Zubats goes to 53. I've lost my mind. Why is Jarrett Allen going to 52? In the auction, I will be trying to do more of a strategy that I believe is the winning strategy, the more balanced build. But again, we have to be very cautious of that, and it's all about monitoring what the room shows and where the value goes. If everyone decides that, then the top end guys start to go cheaper, and then they become the value. So we do always have to adjust. So after Vooch goes Embiid, and this guy took LaMelo, LeBron, and Embiid, and Morant. Okay. Rest in piss, Bozo. What is that team? Yikes. I'm going to bet that Tony Roten All-Stars come out the bottom of the projections, to be honest. I'm going to be... Bro, Cal, are you actually all right? Kal-El, where goes at that spot? Are you okay? Like, okay, we can ignore what that guy's team does from now on. Now it's my pick, and now I'm like just thrown off completely. What do I do at this spot? I need assists. I might take Garland here. I might take so I've got Garland and Mitchell, and what that also is useful for me. Like, stacking isn't a real thing in fantasy, and handcuffing isn't a real thing, but what I do have there is that when Garland's out, Mitchell's value rises. When Mitchell is out, Garland's value rises, so they can both work in that way. Anunoby goes at 59. Jalen Duren goes at 60. Probably a little early there on Duren. Now, again, looking at my team, what stats am I looking for? I do need rebounds and field goal percentage, so Yucca Poeltl would have been fantastic for me, but unfortunately, he just went after Jalen Duren. So what do we do? Do I go to Peyton Pritchard? Do I take... Well, I can't take Peyton Pritchard, can I? What pick number is this? 63. Should I do Ingram? I'll do Ingram. He's been very good, and one of the things that I'm impressed about Ingram in Toronto, he's just taking more threes. And one of the criticisms of him is he just wouldn't take them. And I don't know, he's just looked really good. And I'm not basing projections off his preseason form, but already had his projections relatively high. It's just giving me a higher level of confidence in him. Alex Sarr is okay. 64. I don't no problem with that, considering look at the way the centers ran. Allen, Zubats, Vooch, Embiid, Ware, Duren, Poeltl, Sarr. Centers flying, and Gobert and Mark Williams are going to be options for me. They're going to have to be because it's just going to get rough. But man, that Kal-El Ware pick, I don't think I've seen a weirder pick in any mock draft so far. That is literally just doesn't make... I don't get it. Bro's going to have to try and answer for himself in the comments. If you're watching this video, DJ1010, go for it. Jordan Poole at 67. Tyler Hero at 66. This guy, Tony Roten All-Stars. Surely by now you're just taking the piss. Because your team is already... You've lost. You've got 3 guys who won't be there to start the season, plus LaMelo Ball. And Ja Morant. Yeah, okay. Could be one of the worst drafted teams I've ever seen. And I will just go in and check what your details are so I know to kick you out of any other mock drafts. Let's go and double check that. All right, that's good to know. Good to know. Asar Thompson goes next at number 68. So if you want to see what not to do, look at the Tony Roten team. DeJuice takes DeMar DeRozan at 69 while he took Jarrett Allen the round earlier, so we can also be... I'm going to look at that team as one that I'm going to avoid copying anything that they do. Mark Williams, Andrew, that's annoying because I would have liked Mark Williams, but good for you. Well done. You took the guy. You took who you wanted, and that's annoying to me. All right, so Mark Williams goes at 70, and now I'll make Cubs fan. Which I know he's not a Cubs fan because it's not his name, because he was a last-minute joiner to this. I'm going to just change his name over. I don't know what it is. Mein Frau Hass. Okay, that could be your name. That's what I see on his Twitter. Mark Williams goes. Manuel Quickly goes. Zach LaVine on the turn, and then Rudy Gobert goes. Okay, I don't like that. So now DeAndre Ayton is the center that sits in my queue, and we are in round 7. Do I do an Okongwu? Do I do a Hartenstein? I might have to. I'm going to Jalen Green at 74. He's been going higher than that. Tamani Kamara 75. I have not seen him go at that spot either. Wow, that's interesting. Tamani Kamara that early. Matas Buzelis hasn't gone. Miles Bridges hasn't gone, and I think that that's a little bit of a mistake. Why aren't they adding to my queue? All right. Settle down. So Buzelis, I suppose Okongwu, then Buzelis. I would be... By the way, remember what we saw with the Raptors last season? The Nets have done the same thing. They've just come out and said... their owner has come out and said, yeah, we're trying to get a good pick next season. So just be aware of that when you're drafting Michael Porter and Cam Thomas. DeAndre Ayton goes, so I guess I'm going to have to reassess my centers again. Let's see what Tony Roten does. See if he can make another terrible pick. I'm pretty confident that he can because he's lived up to it with every selection. Let's see what he's able to do here. All right, so we've obviously got another clown in here. We're in the top 30 this year. Book it. No, I'm pretty okay with that. Actually, I'm pretty good with thinking he won't be top 30. So yeah, you can have that prediction all to yourself, my guy. Tony Roten, we're just not going to pick now. Oh, actually a good pick, amazingly. Miles Bridges, Paul George. Is it my pick now? One pick away. Shaden Sharp goes, so it is my pick. I'm going to take Hartenstein. Shaden Sharp at 81. I haven't seen him go that high in most of these. The screen is actually... After I said that I hadn't seen it lagging the way that people suggest that it lagged, it is lagging for me today. So, there you go. So I grabbed Hartenstein there. I'm not super excited about that pick. Now we're at 84, and that goes Josh Hart, which it's okay. I would have preferred letting that slide through a little bit more, but it's better than looking at him in the 50s or the 40s, where at times he has gone. This is where I would just love to have a healthy Zach Edey, pretty obviously. Drew Holiday at 85. I honestly don't know what I'm going to be doing here with my pick. I think I might take John Collins. Michael Porter goes. I'm going to take John Collins there. I need a forward eligible player as well. If I maneuver some of... Yeah, I can just move these guys around. That's fine. All right, so I just wanted to build up a little bit of big man equity. My rebounding and field goals needed a bump. It gives a little bit more balance to my team, which is when I've got Shai, that's what I'm doing. And if my field goals don't become strong, that's also okay. Donovan Clingan at 88. Now DJ, after his outrageous Khalil Ware top 30 call, what can he pull off here? Andrew Nembhard, which is like whatever. At 89, it's fine. Tony Roten, again, at least you were trying to make it as bad as possible. D'Angelo Russell at 90. Bro is terrible. D'Angelo Russell's not good, man. I don't think I'd do it in the top 120, honestly. I'm a little surprised Mikal Bridges is sitting there still. Goochman. I'm going to... Yeah, as much as it's frustrating, I'm going to put Zach Edey in the queue because I do continue to like him as an option. Tari Eason goes 92. Cam Johnson goes 91. You got to bump Keegan Murray down quite a bit from here. Oh, the other one, like Dereck Lively looked awesome yesterday. The frustrating part is going to be Gafford coming back and how they try and figure out that the best position for Anthony Davis is at center. But Lively was great. I wouldn't have taken Simons that early. I know 93 doesn't seem that early, but it just feels, I don't know. I don't think his value is all that high, to be honest. Cam Thomas. Did Cam Thomas go before Michael Porter? Surely not. Did I just miss the Porter pick? No, Porter went there. My bad. Kevin Porter goes at 95. Shout out to the guy in my Twitter comments arguing that Cam Thomas is probably pretty close to Tyrese Maxey for his fantasy value this season. Mikal Bridges at 96. Christian Brown at 97. Again, Brown always is falling in these drafts, which is just not the direction that I thought people would go. I'm okay with it, but I just didn't think that people would go that direction. So Christian Brown begins round 9. I'm going to be looking at someone like a Benedict Mathurin coming up. So we'll just queue him up. I'm also going to be... There goes Nas Reed. I'm going to look at the other Reed, Reed Shepherd. I think AJ Green, by the way, is going to start for the Bucks. Nas Reed got auto-picked. Ben Mathurin goes, okay, well, I guess I'm not taking him. He's at 99. I'm annoyed that John Furphy hurt his ankle yesterday. He looks unbelievably good. I don't think he's really got a shot to start unless Neesmith or Mathurin goes down, but Furphy is going to be a rotation player. He looks so much different to last season. It's actually crazy. Norman Powell goes at 100, which is totally reasonable. We can get some boring forwards in this area as well, like a Toby Harris. I'm going to chuck the Thick Hogsman into my queue there. After, Zach Edey goes at 101. I thought Tony Roten would have taken that just to add to his cadre of injured guys. Who's he going to take now? Keegan Murray? Probably. It's not his pick, it's Gooch Man, but look, which terrible pick can he make? He's made one good one, and that was Miles Bridges and Cade Cunningham, but the rest, disastrous. Andrew Wiggins at 102. Very limited upside, I would say. Herbert Jones. I can't criticize that pick. That's a good pick. CJ McCollum, 104. All right, Rowan Barrett next. So, what do? Do I hog? Do I thick hog here? Or do I Shepherd or do I Lively? I might, given where the centers are going to sit, I might Lively it, and then I'll go for a Reed or a Toby on the way back around. Very, very impressed with Lively, but more Emma. Really? You're just going to take Reed Shepherd? You couldn't let him slide around for me? Emma, I'm not impressed. Brandon Podziemski. I'll continue to say this. I'm worried about Podziemski. I am not touching him in 9, and I probably wouldn't touch him in 10 at the moment. I get ready to learn 13-man rotation, buddy, is where I think we're going to be at. Wow, Scott Pippen at that pick is crazy. 109 for Scott Pippen. All right. Jaden Ivy. What do? Do I thick hog? I will hog it, I think. Toby Harris can go at 10. Now, we need to... I don't like that you took Ivy either. That's pretty irritating. After Toby goes Santi Aldama. I'm going to throw Devin Vassell into the queue. Draymond Green in there as well. Nick Claxton goes 113. Claxton's going to be fine. I do think that he's going to have some minutes limits and injuries and stuff. Again, this team wants to lose. Not that he is necessarily a large driver of winning, though. Brad Beal is a good pick there. Really good pick at that spot. We are getting into the flyer territory. Isaiah Jackson continues to start over Jay Huff. And I'm pretty sure that will continue. But he's going to have foul trouble. He's going to have back-to-back rest issues. There's going to be some concerns with that over time. There goes Keontae George, who I do feel confident will start in Utah ahead of Isaiah Collier, but that could go any other direction. I'm going to throw Brycey Sensabaugh into the queue as well, just to have some names there. I know people are going to be excited about drafting Young Hun Sen because he had a really good first game. Second game, I thought his first game was pretty rough, but he's still a backup, and it's going to be like, I think people when they drafted Klingon last season to start it, and he was the third string center. after Keontae at 116, which is actually pretty good value. Jaden McDaniels goes 117. It is now absolutely a slide territory for Devin Vassell, and someone needs to be grabbing him right now. Jalen Suggs goes 118. That surely was a Tony Roten pick, just someone injured to start the season. Oh, well, he took Bradley Beal, so, what else are we going to do? Nemeash Cater, the Pastel Donata, goes at 119. I do like that pick. I'm going to throw Isaiah Jackson just into the queue as well. Draymond at 120. Hard to argue with that, honestly. That is really pretty strong value with that spot. Isaiah Jackson now goes, and I like what you're doing, Sladen, especially when you're picking at 12. I think you've had a pretty good run, to be honest. I think you've had a very good draft. Okay. Mein Frauhaus. Just really making that call there. Scooter Henderson at 122. Slide him onto IL. I don't think he's got too much other worry there. I think he's good at the moment. Ace Arius Bailey goes at 123. The hype is there. I will be very intrigued to see what happens to Ace Bailey's value if he has a game where he shoots 3 of 12 for 10 points with 3 rebounds. I just want to see how people react to that. Because obviously he's been great. He's doing a lot of catch and shoot type stuff. No real dribbles. And everything's going in, which is great. Oh, that's a horrid pick. Brook Lopez at 124. What are we doing? Jay Huff at 125. I don't mind that. Just to see how that shakes out. Devin Vassell still there, by the way. So Vassell and DeAndre Hunter for me at my next pick will be very good value. Keegan Murray goes. That's a Tony Roten pick. What are we doing? 126 though, there is a bit of value. I'm not sure I'd bother, honestly. I think he's going to miss a fair bit of time. And is his upside even high enough to hold on to? I don't think I would have wasted that pick on Keegan Murray. I think I just leave him go. Tony's just trying to find who the worst selection is that he can make. Maybe TJ McConnell at this spot would be good for you. Oh no, he actually does a good one and takes Devin Vassell. Let's see what other nonsense pick DJ can make. Any other top 30 upside guys? Maybe a Eve Misi that you want to take a look at? Now, what am I going to do? Aaron Gordon? Oh, you dickhead. He took DeAndre Hunter. Man, imagine me getting upset about missing DeAndre Hunter. This is also far out. I don't know what I'm taking here. Cam Whitmore. I was debating Cam's teammate, but you know what I might do here, which is just not a pick that I normally do. I'm just going to take Punch Bob. Bobby Portis. At 130, I actually think that there is... I don't know. I think there's enough upside in that. It might be one that I do regret. Not regret it, that I end up dropping him because he just sort of hovers at that number, which is just not good enough. But I don't know. I think, Aaron Gordon went, then Isaiah Collier, but more importantly, Dayrock took my man Keyshawn George, who I did want there. I just want to see how they use him. Taylor Hendricks goes. Now, I do have Bryce Sensabaugh in my queue. That is not who I am taking here. Could I take, Cason Wallace with the expectation that Jalen Williams is out to begin the season? I might do that, actually. This is why I'm taking Cason Wallace. As my 12th pick, I take him there, I use him early, Jalen comes back, and then he's droppable. That's probably what I'm going to do there. He might be able to maintain some value otherwise. Also, AJ Mitchell for them looks really good. And especially with Topic having some issues with his nutsack, there was an opportunity for Mitchell. Now, Mitchell got hurt yesterday too, so that's frustrating. But if you're in deeper leagues, AJ Mitchell is someone that we want to watch. I wonder, I was just about to say, I wonder if anyone's going to get their hands on the big cock, but Ryan Cockbrenner went. Now, I don't really know what to do with the Charlotte Hornets center situation because Diabate seemed like the guy and he'd started all the games. And then yesterday, Cockbrenner started and he went perfect from the field and he looked great. And he is by far the better fantasy player, Cockbrenner. Now, do we believe that he will start over Diabate? I actually don't. I think it's a 10% shot. Is he worth a flyer in case he does? Probably yes. But again, it's more than likely going to lead to nothing early on. But he was very good, and that is hard to ignore. I just wouldn't be bothered with TJ McConnell as that guy took him. He's out for a period of time. He's got a hamstring. It's just a burnt pick. I just don't understand why you need to bother with it. Chris Boucher at 141. I don't think that Boucher will maintain value, but it's been very good so far. So I've got no problem with having a crack at that, honestly. Jovic is going into my queue as well. The only man that can stop Keller Ware's top 30 season, Nikola Jovic. After Boucher goes Davion Mitchell 142, Moussa Diabate at 143. And Colin Sexton 144. You'll notice that in nearly every one of these drafts, no one is messing with Steph Castle. Wow, have I just turned everyone against Castle? Daniel Gafford 145. Whatever, maybe. He's not going to. I don't think he's going to be there opening night. Dominatrix VJ Edgecombe goes at 146. Dem Boner is a good pick. Just remind me to throw Quentin Grimes into my queue as well. Slammin' Sammy Hauser, 148. It also appears, by the way, that Kuzma will not start for the Bucks. Just be aware of that. That does appear that that'll be the case. I don't think I'm fully there yet, but I don't know. Every time I'm seeing the Grizzlies, I'm just seeing Jalen Wells do a little bit more. And I'm going, okay, that's interesting because he did nothing last season. He started, but he did nothing. I don't know, there's just something about him at the moment that just looks, I can't fully articulate it for Wells, but I'm just like, we need to be more into it. The Bub Carrington pick after the TJ McConnell pick, I know it got timer expired, but yeah, Bub, I don't know. I think the Wizards are playing right now, so I haven't seen what he did. They haven't had a preseason game yet at all. Zach Ricochet, 150. It also does appear that we might have Nolan Traore starting for the Nets and not Ben Saraf, so I think that situation is going to be incredibly messy all year, honestly, because Diego Diomand is still out, and I don't know that I'm pretty sure he won't be available opening night. There goes the big Areola, Con Knipple. All right. Just having a bit of a look at some projections on Jalen Wells that I've got, because I just think they need to be bumped a little higher. I know I've said his name a lot, but maybe just to make it, I've already got him in the queue. Maybe I'll just take him just to be an illustration that I'm a little bit more into him than maybe I should be. Stephen Castle at 153. I do like Grimes here. I'm going to take Jovic. And then on the flip side, I will get Wells. Dylan Harper went at 152. I didn't even mention that, but he said it's Fox Insurance. I believe he has Fox. Harper, I think, looked really good in that first preseason game. To me, it's relatively clear that he's going to be a very good player. There goes Bryce Sensible. I like that from you. Emma, you are absolutely cooking in this draft. No offense to anybody else, but you are cooking at an unbelievable level. Mitchell Robinson goes. Ty Jerome goes. I am going to take Jalen Wells with my next pick. Again, just as more of a highlight, an illustration. I'm not very certain about it, but Jalen Tyson, he will also, I believe, be an opening night starter. I would, if I'm just going to be completely, I want the best projection possible, I'd probably take Oubre or Grimes here, but I do just want to just take that flyer on Wells to see what we can get and see what he can bring. He has been impressive. So the Jalen Tyson one is very clearly an opening week pick, very similar to my Wallace pick, and that is cool to do. Yegor Diomand, I don't think he'll be available. Jabari Smith at 161, that's really good value, DJ. Chris Paul is like Tony. At least you're committing to making the worst team I've ever seen, so that's cool. The Jolman one, I just think not going to be healthy. Too many guys sort of that they're going to be battling, like Traore and Saraf, and then you got Man, and then I don't know. It's just, I feel like it's going to be pretty messy. Quentin Grimes, good pick. John Kuminga. Also, no one has taken Kyrie. No one has taken DeJounte, which in a lot of these drafts, they go in like round 11. So that is an interesting development here. No one also reached up for Wendell, and no one's jumped on Keon Ellis with Keegan Murray being out, which there are probably a few surprises. Also, Bilal not being drafted so far. Well, there goes Bilal at 165. Overall, I would say Emma has had probably the strongest draft. Gooch Man's had a pretty good draft, especially coming in at number 6. Not an easy spot. There goes Keon Ellis. DeJounte Murray. So do we go Kyrie with the last pick? Sladen. Overall, I'm not super happy with my team in this one. Young Han Sen goes last. So I had pick 3. I went with Shai, followed by Donovan Mitchell, Cooper Flagg, Kristaps Porzingis, Darius Garland, Brandon Ingram, Isaiah Hartenstein, John Collins, Dereck Lively, Tobias Harris, Bobby Portis, Kaysen Wallace, Nikola Jovic, and Jalen Wells with my final selection. Goodman, I've made double check how the projections look, remembering that, of course, there's a huge grain of salt. They all come out relatively close outside of the last 4 teams. So Goodman, Emma, Dayrock, and me all up the top with our projected win percentages between 55 and 53.5. So that's all pretty close. Then it was DeJuice, a bit of a gap from me to DeJuice, 53 down to 51. Qua, mine, Frauhaus, Tune Squad, and then Sladen, Andrew Damian, Tony Roden, and DJ as the bottom 2, which is no real surprise. And they did project to me to be the worst teams in that draft for reasons based on how I view the players, which is, of course, not guaranteed to be correct. But that's how I am viewing it, and that's how I'm giving you my opinion. I heard someone say this about, I don't know where it was. I don't know what show it was on. I can't really remember. I think it actually might have been Drew Dinkmeyer saying this, repeating something that Daryl Morey had said, is that when you were in the business of having opinions and projections and that sort of stuff on players, you need to have strong opinions which are loosely held, right? So you've got to be like, I believe this, but I'm always open to new evidence and for new information coming in and changing how I view it. So like, I'll be like, oh, I don't know, like not that, like I think this is not good. But if something changes, I'll be like, all right, cool. We see what is different. We see the change and we see why. So let's make the adjustments to our opinions versus being wishy-washy on it. And that is, I guess, subconsciously part of the way that I've tried to do some of the stuff that I do on the show. Subscribe, thumb up, give it a hype on the YouTube mobile app. Guys, we are done here. Thank you so much for listening, everyone. See ya.